Boy, do I feel good, Gooners. Gabriel Martinelli has committed his future to Arsenal until 2027 on a contract worth a whopping £200,000 a week. Of course, this is Why Football. I discuss all Arsenal-related news and match reactions, and this has got me really happy. Gabriel Martinelli, my favourite player at Arsenal Football Club, has committed his future, and what a signing this will be. I mean, it's only a contract extension, but it feels like a signing because this man is currently 21 years of age, and through to 2027, we've got him basically through his development stages until 24-25, meaning that if another club do want to buy him, firstly, we don't have to sell, and if we do choose to sell, say he wants to leave for whatever reason, we can put up a big fee for this man. We're talking about someone that's literally been through the Arteta process from the start to now. He's developed and looked better and better each and every week. And the way he's just so dynamic on the left-hand side. He's like, reminds me of a mini Alexis Sanchez. He's the closest thing we've got to Alexis since the day he left our football club. Tenacious, always attacking, raw at times, but boundless energy and just an excitable person and one of the great football players to watch at this football club. It took a long while to come, I can't lie. But I always kind of had the inclination that he would re-sign at this football club. He's always shown his intention to. He's loved the club from the minute he's been here, it seems. And he's rewarded us because of the faith that we put in him as fans and as the board as well. And of course, Mikel Arteta by re-signing a new contract. And given he will be our starting winger, it assumes for years to come. In terms of other players that are yet to re-sign, Bukayo Saka and William Saliba, we need to sign those players because arguably those three are our three most exciting prospects. Of course, we've got players like Jesus, Odegaard, but they're slightly older. Saka, Martinelli and William Saliba are our three young up-and-coming prospects, and the three players have got world-class potential at their young age in this Arsenal squad, so we need them to re-sign. That is 1 out of 3 done in Gabriel Martinelli. Arguably one of my favourite ones out of the 3, but I love all of them. And Gabriel Martinelli's signing is a great starting point, especially the fact that he's now coming back for the restart in the Premier League season. Hopefully that can give the whole squad a psychological boost going into these games, starting on Boxing Day against West Ham United. In terms of the actual transfer news branching out from this video, we're looking at someone like Mudryk. Apparently David Ornstein, who's a correspondent for The Athletic, has said that Mykhailo Mudryk, the Ukrainian winger at Shakhtar Donetsk, is Arsenal's #1 primary target. He's a winger, left wing, the same position as Martinelli. Interesting, because if that's the case, I'm all for competition within the squad, but Mudryk, from what I've seen of him, he looks like he's caliber of starter. So will he be happy sitting on the bench? Especially given he was in an interview with Zinchenko's wife actually, and said if he had the choice between being a Real Madrid player, but not necessarily starting, or playing at Arsenal but starting every week, he'd choose Arsenal. So if we do end up signing him being our #1 primary target, is he going to come to the football club with the assumption that he's going to start games and therefore displace Martinelli? Because if that's the case, he could be disappointed because Martinelli has not put a foot wrong so far this season and does not deserve to be dropped. However, if he comes with the mindset of, okay, we're two top talented left wingers, young as well, let's compete each other for the place, then that would be perfect because then him and Martinelli can compete for that left wing position. Or alternatively, we sign him as a left winger and Arteta sees Martinelli more of converting to a #9 striker. Given the fact that Jesus is going to be out till the end of February, it seems, are we going to be able to rely on Nketiah for all of our games? Who knows? Maybe he sees Martinelli as that player at striker position that can run in behind. We've seen him do it a couple times, but for me, he's always seen better on the left wing. But look, that's the way it is. Thierry Henry, for those of you that didn't know, started as a winger and then got moved to play at #9 striker, and that was probably a masterstroke because that's his best position. So maybe Martinelli, he still is young. His best position is through the middle at striker. We'll have to wait and see what Arteta does and what they have planned for him. And the only thing I can say is this is for the first time in a long while where I actually am confident to let Arteta and the Arsenal board do what they want to do. I've criticised them a lot in the past with certain signings and been like, what is the thought process here? Like, I just can't find a logical explanation whatsoever. But given their recent track record, there seems to be some logistics and there seems to be some common sense evident in this Arsenal board and Arsenal coaching system. So I'm going to let them cook. You lot, if you want to play Martinelli up front, go on, train him every day. You're with him every day on the training ground. If that's what you think is best for his position, I'll trust the Arsenal board to implement that and Arteta to implement that. However, if they do think he's better as a left wing, which I personally do feel so right now, given the games I've seen Martinelli play in this Arsenal shirt, then I'm more than happy for us to stick at that as well. And maybe we put Mudryk at striker, although I'm not really a big fan of that given the I'm going to be honest, limited games I've seen of Mudryk. He has looked good on the left wing as a ball carrier. But yeah, we now go into the Boxing Day games. In terms of other Arsenal news, of course, Gabriel Jesus is out. It's a big shame because he's a massive part of this football club. I can't even lie. And in fact, he's going to be missing some key matches against Tottenham, Brighton, West Ham United, Newcastle, even potentially the Man City game and Manchester United game. It's big. We cannot afford to drop any points, and Jesus, we know, is a focal point in our team. Even if Nketiah does get the goals that we do want him to get, there's just a drop-off in kind of mentality. When players come up against Jesus, they know his quality. Premier League winner. He can literally turn you on a 10-piece. He's a Brazilian, man. Like, the guy is just built with flair. You look at Nketiah, are you really as scared as a defender? I know it's sad to say that, and I know you shouldn't really look at a player and judge it on face value, but you do as a defender. It's like certain players come with an aura. Jesus has that more of a striker's aura than Nketiah does. It's like lining up against Mbappe and lining up against someone like, I don't know, who we said, Julian Alvarez, for example. Julian Alvarez is a great player, but he hasn't got that same aura that Kylian Mbappe has. Do you get what I mean? So I'm saying that Jesus has more of an aura than Nketiah does, and defenders are more scared about Jesus, and there's more defenders attracted to Jesus, hence why Martinelli and Saka have more space on the wings, because more defensive attention is on our number 9 and our number 10 in Martin Odegaard. Whereas I think with Nketiah, they can afford to put maybe one centre back on Nketiah and divert more of their attention to our wingers in Saka and Martinelli. But of course, that's a conundrum that Arteta and the coaching staff have to deal with. They made Nketiah sign a new contract. They gave him the money. They gave him the number 14 lucrative Thierry Henry jersey. You put your faith in him. It's time he repays that faith for the fans and for the coaching staff. But going into the new season, right, or restart of the season, it's all about hitting that ground running again. Nketiah up front, Saliba, will he be back in time? Of course, France unluckily lost that final. What a final as well that World Cup was. Is he going to be back already? I saw pictures say that Kylian Mbappe is already back at PSG. This man is ready for his villain arc. Will Saliba be back in time? If not, then I would suggest we maybe play a back two of Gabriel and Ben White and then shift Tomiyasu to right back and Zinchenko if he's fit at left back. I wouldn't mind seeing that against West Ham United before Saliba comes back, of course, to play the Premier League games. But yeah, overall, I'm excited for the restart of the Premier League. It was a brilliant World Cup out in Qatar, but it's great to have Premier League football back again. And it's good to see my club, Arsenal, hopefully get things started with a win against West Ham on Boxing Day. I've been Mykhailo, but this video was summarising Arsenal news, including the most important one, that Gabriel Martinelli has re-signed until 2027 on 200,000 Great British pounds a week. Make sure you subscribe down below on my road to 1,000, and I hope to see you all in my next video.